Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about three different topics, and so within this video we are first going to talk about David Alaba and where he could be going in the summer of 2021. Then we are going to go into further detail on what could happen with the elections that is going to be taking place supposedly on March 7th this year. Then lastly we are going to be talking about the sanction of Lionel Messi. So first everybody, let's talk about David Alaba, because what we have heard today in the past 12 to 24 hours has been very interesting. So here's the thing, right? David Alaba's future right now is in the air. We don't know exactly what's going to go on with this player, but what we do know is that David Alaba is a player that plays at a high level. He is a high level player that does extremely well against top level teams. He is world class. And so when clubs do see David Alaba in the market, clubs are going to be paying attention towards where he could be going and who he is negotiating with. And looking at the current situation between Bayern and David Alaba, it has been said that there has been some wage discussions that just has not been resonating with David Alaba and the agent. David Alaba and the agent are demanding a specific amount when it does come to the wages, but Bayern Munich are like, no way, you're about to turn 29 years old in this year, let's negotiate a different number. Now seeing this, it does seem like David Alaba and the agent do want to move away from this German club, and there could be some other contractual issues that does involve David Alaba and Bayern Munich, but in the end it really does seem like he will be moving away from Germany. Now over the past 12 to 24 months there has been many reports that has stated that one of the dream clubs David Alaba would love to go to would be either FC Barcelona or Real Madrid. This is something that he has not shied away from and has never been taken down by the environment around him. But there is one thing: when we do have the discussion of Barcelona and Real Madrid, they are two in completely different positions. Like, there is a huge gap between Madrid and Barcelona. Madrid on one side do have further negotiations going on with David Alaba, while on the other side with Barcelona, the negotiations has not even started. Barcelona right now have not even thought about approaching David Alaba at the moment. As a matter of fact, we have just previously heard over the past 12 hours coming from a report from Marca has explained that David Alaba and Real Madrid have agreed on personal terms with a 4-year contract, and this was a headline that was absolutely everywhere within the media and within the news outlets were claiming that David Alaba is going to be going to Real Madrid for a total of 4 years. We also do have Fabrizio Romano, who has stated that David Alaba's pre-contract with Real Madrid has been ready since the beginning of January. It's expected to be signed in the next few weeks. His salary will be around 12 million euros after taxes per season. Liverpool made a top bid to sign him 2 weeks ago, but his dream is called, and that is Real Madrid. So I do want to make two key points coming out from these reports that we have just heard coming from Marca and from Fabrizio Romano. Number one, the pre-contract between Madrid and Alaba does exist. It does exist in Madrid, and the agent and David Alaba are very well aware of what's going on and what could go on within the next couple of months. And this is why I do say Real Madrid are in a very much different position than FC Barcelona. Then moving on to point number two, but this is also telling me is that Barcelona again have not even begun negotiations with this player. I don't even think that they themselves believe that they can bring in a player such as him with wages up to 12 million euros after tax. But this is where the question does arrive. Why in the world should we believe that David Alaba could be going to FC Barcelona? Well, we do have some very interesting news coming out from Sky Sports, and they have claimed that David Alaba's agent, Messi'S, first wants to wait to see whether his friend Joan Laporta is elected as the next president of FC Barcelona. And really pay attention to what that report did just say. They have claimed that they first want to see whether Laporta does get elected as the Barcelona president or not, which is going to take a few weeks from today. We have just heard that the elections are going to be held on March 7th. That does really correlate to what Fabrizio Romano did just say. He did say, and I quote, "It's expected to be signed in the next few weeks." So there is correlation between these reports. Something is being waited on, and I do believe that it is the agent waiting on who is going to be the president of Barcelona. And it's crazy to hear this, right? Because look, Laporta and Xavi, who is again the agent of Alaba, do have a very powerful relationship. They do have a very long history with each other, and they have been knowing each other for the past 12 to 15 years. It's been a very long time. Their connection is very powerful, and it's crazy, right? It's just so crazy to see just how far credibility and connections can take you, because the fact that the agent is so close to agreeing to a 4-year contract to Real Madrid, right, according to these sources, it's just so crazy to hear that they are now willing to wait to see who is going to be the next president of Barcelona. If it's Laporta, they are going to be negotiating. And again, if you're asking why, it is because Laporta has the credibility. He has the connections, he has the friendships, he knows exactly what it takes to bring this Barcelona team to the highest level of football, and he knows who to talk to. And again, it is so fascinating. I can't even wrap my head around just how much leverage Laporta does have if he does come the president of Barcelona. And I believe that this is the reason why Laporta does have the upper hand when it does come to winning the elections. This is the reason why Laporta has won the first phase of the campaign with a total of 9,957 votes. And this is why we did see that humongous gap between first place and second place, who was Victor Font, because the socios know, the fans know, everybody does know that Laporta is the man to bring everything all together. And so once again, I do want to make it very clear that if Laporta does win and does become the president of Barcelona, the agent is going to be wanting to start serious talks with Laporta. And the fact that we are hearing the agent and Alaba willing to wait for so long for the presidential elections to finish in Barcelona is literally telling me one thing. That is that I do think that if they are so willing to wait, knowing that they do have a pre-contract agreement right next to them on the table, I do think that there is some slightly more interest coming from Alaba to move to FC Barcelona. And he wanted to go there, he would have already completed the whole contract agreement. But since they're so willing to wait, there is some interest, there is some motivation that they are willing to wait that very last second just to see if they can move to FC Barcelona. Now, Jared Romero did point out something very important regarding the transfer of Alaba to Barcelona, and he has stated that Barcelona currently don't have the money to pay for David Alaba's wage bill. But if Barcelona can sell some players, the arrival of Alaba is currently possible, which does make sense, right? Even we can say that the club are not financially capable to pay the wages of Alaba. They do need to sell first in order to make other things happen. And I do believe that this is the reason why Laporta is so eager to have the elections happen as soon as possible. It is because so many things do need to get done. You do need plan A in order for plan B to work. And what does that mean? That basically means that Laporta does know that he wants to come into this club and wants to complete plan A, sell players, in order for plan B to work, which is to buy players and bring the players that is going to make this club much more powerful and able to compete against the top level teams. And the fact that Laporta has to sit through all this, seeing how many players are willing to negotiate with this club, seeing how many players need to be sold, and the fact that he's seeing that the elections is not going to be taking place into another extra 4 to 5 weeks, I know that Laporta is probably so eager to have these elections very advanced, which is now going to lead us towards the next topic of today, and that is going to be about the election updates. And we do have some very important updates, and it says here, according to Rack 1, the 3 presidential candidates will be meeting with Carlos Tusquets tomorrow at the club office to analyze the electoral calendar. And if you guys are wondering why are they going to be having this meeting, it is because they are going to be analyzing whether they can make the elections much earlier than March 7th. And we do have Joan Laporta, who has stated, we do not rule out anything. The elections being held 1 to 2 weeks before 7th of March, it is all open. Now, one very big positive note to take from this is that they will be allowing mail voting, which means that it is going to be much safer and much easier for them to complete the second phase of this campaign. It is going to allow more flexibility and could also potentially allow the elections to be held way before than March 7th. We also do have Carlos Tusquets, who has told Catalan Radio that we are open to the possibility of advancing the elections by a week from the 7th of March to the 28th of February. And I'm going to be saying this again, right? The fact that we're having so many meetings regarding the date of the final phase of these elections is really telling me that you never really had a plan on when you should be holding the elections. But at the end of the day, they are making this meeting in order for the elections to happen as soon as possible. And that is going to be the final verdict. The earlier, the better. And whatever does happen within this meeting is going to be talked about here on this YouTube channel. And lastly, I do want to talk about Messi's sanction. It says here, and it is official, that Messi has been handed a 2-game ban after his red card against Bilbao. He will miss the Copa del Rey game against Cornellà and La Liga game against Elche. Now, previously, it was being talked about that Messi could be missing a total of 4 games, but that is not going to be the case no more. It is going to be a total of 2 matches that Lionel Messi is going to be missing. And I don't think that this is going to be the biggest games Messi is going to be missing, because it is going to be Elche and a match in the King's Cup. I do believe that when it does come to clubs such as these, Barcelona do tend to react extremely well. And one of the players that is expected to step up in times like this is going to be Antoine Griezmann. And so while Koeman is going to be preparing his team for the absence of Lionel Messi for the next 2 matches, in the meantime, the club is going to be fighting and appeal against the sanction. suspension and want to reduce the 2-game match ban to a total of just 1 game. Now, to be very honest, I don't know how that's going to be turning out. I don't see it being reduced to 1 game. I do think that 2 games is considerable enough, especially knowing that Messi is a player that also does need rest, and the fact that we do have the capability within this squad to get things done without Lionel Messi and get a great result. I do think that the best case scenario would be to give Messi some rest and give the other players a chance to show what they do have on the field. So if the ban does get reduced to 1 match, that's going to be absolutely great, but it is not going to be the end of the world if Messi does miss just 1 more match after that. So that'll be it for today's Barcelona daily news. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.